was a tease.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, the podcast that reviews the movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 672, and as always, is the Nerd Chick on the Kid holds the show. That's our wonderful co-host, Brad Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful, wonderful Monday. That was Raul just giving you a little teaser because we want to double up.
There's going to be a noticeable cut, and I'm going to make that cut. And, yeah. Today we're here to continue on with our Charlie Chaplin Month. I review his 1928 film, The Circus. But before we can get into any of that, Brad, how are you doing?
Doing well, Raul. So, just work today. I watched The Circus last night after WrestleMania. So,
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah. It wasn't that long, so I was like, okay. I actually finished this pretty quick.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't have had time to watch it after work today because am I 2 hours? I'm 2 hours now.
Wait, what?
Before you. I'm 2 hours before you.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, what do you mean 2 hours? What time do you get out at work?
I get out at work at around 4.
Well, you still would have had the same amount of time in between.
No. Because sometimes half the year I get to go at 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because, Brad, I mean, your 4 is still my 6. So that means you would have 2 hours and 30 minutes to what's it called?
Is that true?
In between.
Math is hard, you.
Huh?
Math is hard, you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you're not back in time. We're still in the same time. It's just a different number, you know?
I don't know.
Yeah. Because, like, this is at
not really
8:30 Central.
Like, I'm on. Okay, we're gonna go through this, and people are just gonna have to listen to this. You're gonna have to deal. Audience gonna have to deal. Okay, so I get out of work at 4.
Okay.
I podcast right now at 6:30.
Yes, 2 hours and 30 minutes later.
Yeah. So when the time change happens, I still get at 4, but then I podcast at 7:30.
What the fuck is your problem?
So that's the difference. Yes.
But it's like we're still podcasting at the same time.
No, you move the time difference. Arizona does not change.
Yeah.
I was in Arizona. Arizona does not change. You change.
Yeah, so I just go 1 hour before. So it would still be like 4. It would be 5. And it would still be 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Before it was at 7:30 when we podcast my time. And now it's 6:30.
We were 1 hour behind.
Yeah, now it's 6:30 because we're 2 hours.
Yes, which means that there were still 2 hours and 30 minutes in between that time. Yes, Brad, because when we would podcast at 7:30 your time, aka 8:30 my time, it was 4 when you get out of work, which is 5 my work, which means there's 2 hours and 30 minutes in between that time.
For you.
For you too, motherfucker.
No, 4 to 6:30 is 2 hours and 30 minutes. 4 to 7:30 is 3 hours and 30 minutes.
What the fuck?
Bro, is going through it right now.
And I didn't go to a state school like yeah. I don't know. This is I hate math.
We both went to state
Time
school.
is weird. Welcome to the Charlie Chaplin Month. Yeah. But I had a great weekend, Brad. What's it called? WrestleMania was incredible. Yeah, WrestleMania was incredible. I went to the movies. I watched Monkey Man. And
that was good. That looked good.
It was fine.
Okay.
I did not like it as much as Luis liked it. Luis loved it. I thought it was whatever. I thought it was fine. Okay. It was good. It's just, it's very noticeable when you have to cut a movie down, and it's like that's one of those movies that, like, hey, bro, let's start cutting this down, bro.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they didn't cut it down.
But I think we should talk about WrestleMania. I think that's the important thing this weekend that happened.
Yeah. WrestleMania was great. A lot of great moments, and it It was a fantastic time, bro. I loved it. I loved it. It was not gonna lie, might just be like top five or top three WrestleManias of all time,
I
bro.
mean, it's up there.
It really
It's
is.
it's.
It
I
is.
mean, that was a spectacle.
Yeah,
I think the Bailey and Io match isn't getting talked about enough because
bro. That was amazing.
amazing.
Up until the main event, that was match of the night.
Yeah, that was amazing. Night one, Gunther and Sammy, freaking
Yeah,
awesome. Um, I realize now that I could watch people beat up Logan Paul for 2 hours, 3 hours, and I'd be fine with it.
yeah,
Randy and Kevin could have kept going for like another hour, and I would have been fine watching that.
yeah. Oh my god, what a great time! What a great time! Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. But a great time we had. I loved every moment of it. Very excited for the future of the WWE, man. And but of course, I'm very excited for the future of our podcast as we continue talking about these Charlie Chaplin films because this week's movie is pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie,
It's not
pretty
bad.
damn good.
I don't know.
And
I don't know. It's good.
it's
Charlie Chaplin.
good. It's pretty damn good. I'm not
Pretty
gonna
good.
lie.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so yeah. Let's just go ahead and do this,
Let's just
Brad.
get into it.
All right, Brad. Without further ado, can you please introduce us to the circus?
All right, I forget this is old movie, so we don't do the spoiler alert.
1928, bro. It is very much far
It's
from
very yeah,
bro. This shit is in public domain.
yeah. We can make a horror movie with this. So coming from Wikipedia, The Circus is a 1928 silent romantic comedy film written, produced, and directed by Charlie Chaplin. The film stars Chaplin, Al Ernest Garcia, Myrna Kennedy, Harry Crocker, George Davis, and Henry Bergman. I wonder if that's a relation. The ringmaster of an impoverished circus hires Chaplin's little tramp as a clown, but discovers that he can only be funny unintentionally. The production of the film was the most difficult experience in Chaplin's career. Numerous problems and delays occurred, including a studio fire, the death of Chaplin's mother, as well as Chaplin's bitter divorce from his second wife, Lita Gray. And the Internal Revenue Service's claim of Chaplin's owing back taxes, all of which culminated in filming being stalled for 8 months. The Circus was the seventh highest grossing silent film in cinema history, taking in more than $3.8 million in 1928. The film continues to receive high praise. The film's copyright was renewed, so it entered the public domain on January 1st, 2024. Directed, written, produced, Charlie Chaplin. Starring, I already went through that. Cinematography, Roland Totoro, one of those. Music by Arthur Kay and Charlie Chaplin for the 1967 version. And running time is 70 minutes. Box office 3.8 million.
Yep.
That's pretty 3.8 million in 1928.
Yeah.
Wonder what that equated to.
Who the fuck knows, Brad? I'll I'll go ahead and say though, so this is nowhere near being like City Lights level,
The Great Dictator.
Great Teacher, nothing. But I have to say, I still really like this movie. I actually love this movie.
It's funny.
I think that it's very funny, it's very charming, which is like what I've learned to really appreciate from Charlie Chaplin. It might not be his best work up against these movies that we've watched recently,
Yeah.
but I have to say that it's still very much like really entertaining. It's really well written, and I mean Charlie Chaplin's scores, man, are just freaking incredible, bro. Like the guy knows how to compose music, man. Like they're always so great, and he knows how to compose them at least enough to like blend well with the actual film that you're watching.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with no talents, and Charlie Chaplin's directed, written, produced, starred,
Composed,
and composed. The only thing this man did not do was edit and cinematography.
yeah, which kind of hard to
Kind of hard to do if you're starring in it to also film yourself.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a selfie stick. I don't know.
Yeah. My God. But for sure. I love that, and Chaplin's like charisma, his comedy really lends itself to like the feeling and the atmosphere of the circus.
Yeah,
So I was expecting like in his career he had to have made a film about the circus. It's kind of like,
it just makes sense.
Fellini was such a massive fan of the circus, and it really reflects in his films as well. And he made La Strada, where he finally got to like do a movie about the circus. So I was like, Chaplin has that aura and that feeling where it's like, oh, it feels a lot like this guy was like this guy's making movies because he couldn't be a traveling circus, what's it called, performer.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely an environment of almost controlled chaos, I would say, for Chaplin,
Yeah.
specifically in this movie. I don't rank the. I mean, it's good, but I don't think it ranks up to The Kid, to City Lights, to The Great
No.
Dictator. I think those are also. This is also, I believe, an older movie.
It's
Um,
28, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
from other than I can't remember. I think uh was it The Kid or City Lights? City Lights was in the 30s, I think.
Yeah.
So this is a little older than those. Um I don't know. It's funny. It's hilarious. The thing starts off hilarious with the maze of mirrors, um running from the cops, and then to turn and go into and act like one of those moving figures, statues, to try
Yeah.
to get away from the police. It's just smart and funny. And I think that's what I've come to love about Chaplin is it's not ridiculous funny, it's actually smart funny.
And it's just also like the whole tramp character. Like I've learned to really love this tramp character. Like, you've seen him in like City Lights, you've seen him in what's it called, The Kid, and in this one it's like they're all like very much variations of who like Chaplin comes off as. Like this very art driven guy who like loves his performance art so much, and he loves to make people laugh. But like there's so much there about the human as well. And like in The Kid you saw about like, friendship and being a father to a child, a father figure. And in here it's like a lot about like standing up for yourself as an artist, and
Yeah.
also standing up for those who you work with and not letting people kind of push you around. So like I really like the way that Chaplin kind of shows that through like the character of
Yeah.
the tramp.
City Lights, just an overwhelming kindness coming from his character.
Hmm.
And that's what I think the Tramp character is like you said, he's very charming. And
Yeah.
he's like all the good that people should be kind of rolled up
Yeah.
into one thing.
Yeah. Makes me wish I what's it called? I had picked Modern Times, because Modern Times I've heard is a really good one as well from him. Maybe he's like a factory worker
I mean,
and
I
he's
mean
still
the
playing
I
the
mean
tramp.
the way we're going, we'll probably have another Chaplin month.
Oh, 1000 fucking percent, bro. Like we're not what's it called stopping here, man. I want more Chaplin, bro. Like
Hmm.
I love these movies, man. I like really like these movies. They're not these extravagantly like crafted pieces where you have like I can't really comment much on the lighting. I can't really comment much on like framing and stuff, but like it's slapstick humor.
Yeah,
It's
and
like it does
the
it. It's
the set pieces and what he uses for props,
amazing. Great.
it's just normal stuff, and
Yeah.
he makes hilarious things out of it.
Yeah.
The barber scene he does in this with just shaving cream, it's great. It's fantastic.
He kept
Uh,
throwing that shit.
yeah, and like in moving people from chair to chair, and like it's just I mean
The
the
whole bit
main
with the lion too.
yeah, the
What
lion.
is that a real lion, Brad?
Yes, that
Like
was a real lion.
that was a real lion.
That's probably the MGM studio lion, if I had to guess.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, throughout the movie, the maze and mirrors with the police. Actually, even before that, the whole how the wallet got in his pocket with the pocket watch, and he's like spending the money, and he doesn't know whose it is, and then the guy shows up, and then it just goes into when both of them are running at the same time towards the camera. I'm like, oh, this is really well made. It's really well thought out, well shot, very creative. And that's what I'm finding with Chaplin is he makes a lot with almost nothing. Like his way of moving and his way of just emoting,
Yeah.
that just delivers everything you need.
Well,
Because
it's such
he's
a
funny without the props, and
yeah.
he's even funnier with them.
It's a lost art of the body language. Like, a lot of, there's still a lot of people here who are like amazing facial actors who
Yeah.
like don't have to speak a single word of dialogue and you know what they're saying by their face. But the days of Charlie Chaplin are gone, and I think that a lot of people have forgotten that that art of that type of performance. And Brad, I'm looking at this. It took about 200 takes with a real lion, Brad. Oh my god, that is
The studios gotta, like, their insurance had to be huge
100%, Brad.
on this man. Could you put your biggest star in there with the actual lion? I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
But the little, like, the love story that's kind of in here, well, love lost, I guess, because
yeah,
he's in love and then the girl falls in love.
yeah.
Oh, the freaking monkey scene, I gotta bring that up.
The monkey, the fucking
The
monkey.
fucking monkeys on the trapeze, and I don't know if he was in the air like that or what, but the fact, like, the line comes off and he's just standing there swaying about, and then the monkeys come up, and, like, then there's a monkey tail in his mouth, and I'm just like, this is crazy. This is all just freaking ridiculous. And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, hilarious, like, great scenes throughout this movie. Do
yeah,
do I think it's as good as City Lights, as The Kid, as The Great Dictator? No, because I don't think this one has that emotional effect that the previous three we've seen has,
yeah,
but it is funny.
yeah. And I have to like give props where like they're due because everything that he went through in this movie, Brad, like to make this movie, and it still turns out to be really good.
Yeah, that is kind of amazing. Goes through a divorce, goes through what the
His
hell did we
mother's
read?
death.
Mother's death, studio fire, divorce, and the IRS. I don't know which of those is worth. Probably the IRS.
Yep.
And then it being stalled for 8 months. The fact this movie got made is probably an act of complete heroics from Chaplin.
Yeah. So it like that's what I really like when I watched this movie. And I was like, what I know about this and reading this about how much it took for him to make this movie. It's like and he still is able to give his 110% in the movie. I love it. It's great. I really had a lot of fun with it. I can't, in good, what's it called, conscious, like put it above any of the movies I've watched this week, this last week,
Yeah,
and The Great Dictator. But I can still say that it's just another example how great Charlie Chaplin is as a performer and as a what's it called, a storyteller. Yeah.
agreed. And I mean, he does get that towards the end there, whenever the circus leaves him behind. I think you're right in saying, if he had been anything, he probably would have been a circus performer. So this might be his
100%.
love letter to that.
Yeah. 100%. And also just how much he cared about like workers' rights and how much like that was like a thing. What's it called? A thing of importance to him. Like he
Yeah, think of importance that didn't exist during this time.
yeah. So as I'm seeing, there's a lot of balls that Charlie Chaplin here has.
Oh,
The
he
last
was.
movie with the black actor.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
You had the last movie with the black actor, and you had him freaking making a whole movie making fun of Hitler
yeah,
before Hitler's rise to power, or like right in that time frame.
yeah, and and now this one about like workers' rights when that wasn't really a thing that people were caring about at the time. You know, like child labor laws were still very much not like a very common thing in that time too. Yeah, but man, I gotta say, man, I like you said, like I said, Brett, I really like this movie, and I can't put it above the other films that I've seen from him, and
Hmm.
but it's still very much. I still haven't watched a movie that I don't like from Charlie Chaplin. I still very much enjoyed this one, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and give this movie an 8.5. I mean, I'm sorry, an 8 out of 10. I'm sorry, an 8 out of 10. It's right now ranked the lowest, but that's still a really good what's it called a number for me to give it because I
Yeah,
really like this movie.
I mean, it's not a bad movie. I'm basically coming to the point where Charlie Chaplin's not missing, but I am also going to give it an 8 out of 10. That was exactly the number I was thinking about giving it.
Yeah, yeah. Damn great movie, Brad. And I mean, I like you said, Brad. I'm sure that what's it called? That this is not gonna be our last month looking at Chaplin. Um, and some people did point out that like this is really the closest like Chaplin does get to kind of like being very Buster Keaton with these
Hmm.
movies, where
Like
he's
like
like
like very slapstick.
very
That
very slapstick. Like this is like very much like Buster Keaton level slapstick.
yeah.
And it's just to me that just to me what's it called? I was like, okay, I'm like you're seeing a different side of him, and this is more of him like paying mostly an homage to like those who came before him.
And I mean that this might be the reason why we don't score it as high as the previous three, because the previous three definitely
Oh,
had
definitely,
a more powerful story and more emotion to it than this one.
yeah,
But this one is still a funny comedy.
yeah. Like I don't get how anybody who doesn't already like, well, like I don't get how somebody who doesn't already like have a like what's like like if you're going into a silent film saying I'm not gonna like this, I can get why you're gonna be like, okay, I don't like it, which I think you're stupid. But like if you're going into this movie and you're giving it a chance, I don't see how you don't come out of this absolutely
No,
like loving this movie.
I mean, and there are, Raul's mentioned it. There are silent films that have a lot of reading to go
Yeah.
with it.
This one had a lot more inner text than the last ones, I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
but it's still not a lot.
No.
Like
No.
comparatively for other silent movies, this one, I mean, these Charlie Chaplin movies really don't have a lot of reading. Hell, they talk and they don't even put the written text up on what they're saying, because you can kind of figure it out. Like you get what they're saying.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I'm still saying, like, for silent films, it's paced really well. Like it's not dragged out and it's not too fast.
No, and I think it's a really good amount of time for it. And then you add on the music to it, which is really
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't really, it's funny. It's just funny to watch, you know, people play great characters on the screen, and their facial and body expressions, along
Yeah.
with some slapstick in this one. So
Yeah.
I don't, if
Yeah.
you go in there with preconceived notions, you probably won't like it. But if you
Yeah.
just go in there going, let's see,
Yeah.
you probably find that Charlie Chaplin was one of the greatest actors to ever live.
Yeah. So with that said, that concludes our review of the Circus. And as always, we want to thank you all so much for joining us. You can check us out on thenerdcore.com, Twitter at the Nerdcore underscore, Instagram and Threads at the Nerdcore, TikTok at the Nerdcore, Patreon.com/the Nerdcore, where you can get this episode live and early before anybody else gets to watch it on Monday at 12 p.m. I forgot to mention that at the top of the hour. I'm really sorry. But, either way, if you're watching this live, thank you so much. And, you can watch this. You can chat with us in the comments and in the chat and talk with us. So, that's the cool thing about being a patron at the $1 tier. For the lowest money you can give us, where we actually don't even make much money off of that. Like at the $1 tier, we don't really make a lot of money off of it. Like, if y'all actually, to be transparent, um where we would actually make a return is on the $3 and up. So at the $1, we're kind of like sacrificing here just to give you guys the backlog and the live stream. So you guys check that out. And if you guys want to get the episodes early, we'll be back on Thursday for a review of Angel Heart, which will go live for the public on Saturday at 12 p.m. So with that said, thank you all so much. And of course, check out our Discord link in the description below. Leave a comment on the YouTube video. Also, what's it called? Subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell so you don't miss another Charlie Chaplin review. And of course, if you're on the podcast side of things, make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast app of choice and leave a 5-star review. And yeah, that's kind of it for now. That's all I've got for you guys. And yeah, Brad, I'm loving this month. For a month that I
Been a good
really
month.
wasn't sure what we were gonna do this month. And I was like, "Fuck, Brad, what do we do?" And Brad was like, "Oh well, it's Charlie Chaplin's birthday." I was like, "Oh shit, fuck yeah, let's just do it." And
It was easy.
as somebody who has his only experience with silent films was a documentary that I really did not like at all. I have now grown a massive appreciation for silent film, and it also really makes me sad that like a lot of silent films are lost and damaged now beyond repair.
Yeah.
That we've lost like a massive amount of that history of cinema.
Yeah, we're
So
lucky. We're lucky these were kept together by the studios, and you know, I mean the work done on these to make these look as they are right now, which is great.
yep.
I give it to them. I give it to the studios and all the hard workers who put effort into this.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Next thing you know, guys, the Nerdcore might be reviewing the what's it called, the Great Train Robbery. Fucking movie from 1903.
Whew. Hey, good.
Yeah. Hey
Never say
man, as
never.
long as they're good, it don't matter what's
No.
it called when they're from.
I mean, and we did a watch along for Nosferatu, so
Yeah.
there's that one.
Yeah. So we're getting more cultured, guys. For so long what we've ignored, we were able to finally what's it called do some reviews on it. So I think it'd be fucking awesome if we continue doing these movies and we
Yeah.
do some more silent films. So
I mean, I've been liking these movies. These have been
yeah,
great, and
yeah,
specifically Charlie Chaplin's movies.
yeah.
So they've been great.
It proved me wrong. I was a little bit apprehensive when I was looking at the schedule. And I was like, Brad, we chose mostly silent films, Brad. And I was like, okay. Now I wouldn't go see a movie like this in a theater setting because chances are I wouldn't be able to read it that far back. But watching it on my TV and on my iPad, I'm having a pretty damn good time with it. So, with that said, Brad, let's go ahead and get him out of here.
All right, our own thing being host as always. Thank all those who join us into future chats. Thank our listeners and Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, yeah, I still don't know how they got like 10 monkeys in that one thing of luggage. So
Fucking lying, dude.
over the line. I don't know. Go watch this movie. Young Yoda out.
Today's not our day. Thank you to our patrons. Thank you to Shane.
Shane, love you.